Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, this is the first time ever doing like a video before. Um, so, um, my name's Bradley Smith. I'm actually 24 years old. And I drive for Hogan Transportation. They're out of St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm kind of going over some basic stuff, and what got to where I'm at today. So I originally got my CDL in March of 2020, and I got it here in Springfield, Missouri at MTI. They're uh, one of the CDL schools around here. It's actually a technical college, actually. And originally, when I was getting my CDL, that's when all COVID and stuff was hitting. So originally, it was only supposed to take like 3 to 4 weeks, and it ended up taking from like March to like May to get my CDL because of all of COVID restrictions and stuff going on and stuff. And it was kind of one of them things that it was like it was a process, but I got it. But MTI, I would recommend them because they are hands down a really good CDL school to go to, and it's really reasonable. I think it only cost me like $3,500, so that was like really cheap compared to a lot of the other schools that I've heard out of even other states. That's like 2 times more than that. But yeah, they helped me get my CDL, and it was a really good school to go to. I would highly recommend them if you were thinking about getting your CDL. They are got a really good program over there. I really enjoyed it. I think, yeah, it was like if if it wasn't during COVID and it was just a typical process, it would only be like 3 to 4 weeks to get your CDL. So and very good place to go to, like I said. So and then I was like, what school do I want to go to? And or not school, what company do I want to drive for after I get my CDL? They actually will help you get your where you want to go, as in, if you don't got a decision made. And if at any point in time with me getting my CDL there, if I couldn't find a place to drive for, they would actually help me find a trucking company for the rest of my life if I ever need a job in the transportation industry. And that is actually a good plus that I didn't know. And when they told me that, that was like amazing. Like, wow, that's really neat for MTI to even consider that if I ever needed help. They said they would if I ever reached out to them if I could. So I ended up going with Hogan Transportation, and I knew a little bit about them because actually my older brother drove for them. And he was telling me, that they got all kinds of accounts to drive for. And I'm like, really? And he said they actually hire graduates just right out of trucking school and whatnot. And so I ended up applying for them. And I ended up going through orientation stuff. I think it was like 2.5 days up in St. Louis. They pay for your hotel and all that good stuff. And actually at the time I did orientation at the hotel. It was like really nice, and their terminal was like right down the road. But so St. Louis has been around, or Hogan Transportation has been around for like over 100 years, and they're actually family based owned, so they're not like a big corporation as in like Swift and all them, Prime and all that. They're actually like they really do care about their drivers. They definitely do want you to stay there and drive for them. And they definitely do care about their drivers. So I do appreciate that because, there's a lot of companies out there that just consider you as a number. But here they do consider you as a person, a real person. And they definitely take care of their drivers. I will definitely say that. I appreciate that 100%. And I mean, like I said, they've been around for 100 years, and they're actually one of the top 3 biggest truck leasing companies in the United States. I think the other 2 is Penske and Ryder. And the good thing I like about them is that, like I said, they got like over 100 accounts for you to like drive for. So you got all kinds of options. So if you have to move or whatnot, or if you don't like this account, there's always another account that you could probably drive for that you might enjoy and whatnot. So there's like I said, I've been actually, I started in October of 2020, and I drove for them all the way till, of April of 2022. And that's when I was trying to decide, okay, do I want to try to, um, drive for myself, and try that out. And I did. I ended up living there, like I said, in April, and I ended up actually trying out driveaways for like RVs out of Indiana. And I did that for, actually, me and my brother did that for almost 6 months. Yeah, like 6 months. We did that for 6 months of last year of 2022, from April to October. And it paid all right, it wasn't bad. And then towards the end, we actually started doing our own thing where it's called multi-haul, where you do multi-haul RVs on a flatbed trailer. And we did that for a few months, and unfortunately, it didn't turn to be out for what it was. The rates were going down. We weren't staying consistent, and it was definitely not good, because the recession was starting to hit, so people weren't really buying RVs, so it started slowing down, and we just decided just to get out of there, and go back to Hogan, because we knew that it was a good company to drive for, and we went back. And actually, backstory here. So me and my older brother actually started team driving, actually, I believe, let's see, we started driving in October of 2021, started team driving for Target out of Cedar Falls, Iowa. Then that's actually reefer, so you do food, frozen, so you do refrigerated and frozen, and you do hauling that out of Target, Cedar Falls, DC. And we usually stay actually in the Midwest. That's one thing I liked about it. The good thing to that was we were actually out only 5 days a week, and we were home 2 days every week. So we would leave out, and it was kind of dedicated. So we had our almost same route. So we'd stay in, of course, Iowa, because that's where DC is at, and we usually do a lot of our loads to Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Nebraska for at least the teaming runs. They got, they even go a little bit of Illinois, and then they go up to Minnesota and Wisconsin, I believe. But for the teaming though, we did that. We started doing that, like I said, in October of 2022, and we did that till April of 2022. Or, sorry, let me rephrase that. We started in October of 2021, and we drove all the way to April of 2022. And at the time we were getting 40 cents a mile split, so the truck was making 80 cents, and then and then usually the average, we do 3 stops, sometimes 4, but average was 3 stops. So each stop was $9 a driver, so split $18, so it'd be $9 a driver per stop. And I would do the nighttime driving, he would do the daytime driving. So, and I do more of the miles, like every night, because I just pretty much all I do is I pick up the load, usually at 9-10 o'clock at night, and our shifts are I usually do 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and he does 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So he does the days, and he does the majority of all the stops. I usually pick up the load and get us to the first store, and we switch out. It's usually about 7, and it actually works out perfectly. And we were averaging, probably on a day, an average week of miles, we were staying pretty consistent. Probably like 5,400 miles, give or take, at the time. And the good thing is that, we were constantly moving. I love that. It just drop and hook. The load would be ready that night. You'd pick it up, and then you deliver it that day, and we'd come back again. I'd pick up another one for, 5 days. And and we did that, like I said, from October of 2021 to April of 2022. And then we were like, well, let's try something different. And we did the RV industry and stuff. And like I said, it paid all right, but I felt like, 1099 is, you have to keep up on a lot of stuff, and it's kind of a little bit more than what I expected, and that's why we went back to doing this too, and we knew where the money was at. And the plus side was it was W-2, so you know, you get all your taxes stuff took out, and it's easier to just get paid and move on, you know. But so we were probably making at the time a piece, we were grossing probably $2,400 a week, and I was probably, yeah, we were probably grossing about $2,300, and I was probably taking home after taxes probably $1,600. And that was for working for 5 days and home for 2, so it wasn't bad. And like I said, we were staying in the Midwest, so it's pretty good. And then when we came back, there was actually a pay raise, and I was like, really? And when we came back of October of 2022, now they pay, the truck makes $1 a mile, so each driver for team driving gets 50 cents split, so you know, 50 cents of $1, so you get 50 cents a driver, and it's still $9 to stop a driver. But now we're doing like almost 5,800 miles, and we're even getting more money at it. So we're almost grossing almost $3,000 for 5 days, and we're doing 5,800 miles. And then plus we get our stops, you know, included, so that it averaged out to about $3,000. And I'm like, wow, now I'm taking home, like, after taxes, anywhere between $2,000 to $2,100 every 5 days, and we're home for 2. Yeah, I'm blessed with this company. I have never would be thinking to making that kind of money, even for with only having, you know, probably 2.5 years of experience now. I'm blown away. Like I said, Hogan Transportation, if you're looking for a company and you're just first starting out, Hogan is the place to go. I have never had a problem once with them. They're always, if you're needing, you know, if something happens, you need to take some time off, let them know. They work with you. They work with their drivers. Trust me. You know, at the end of the day, I am very blessed to be with this company, just because their pay is amazing, just for what you have to do. And like I said, going back to the Target account, all you have to do for, like, paperwork wise, when you pick up your trailer, you do a pre-trip sheet. You fill that out, make sure you know if there's any damage to the trailer, of course, all that, check all the tires and stuff, and you write it down on the paper. And then you got it's a perishable log, and all you do is fill out some information on there on the sheet. And actually, I got some paperwork here, actually. So that actually what we do. So the perishable log, so it would look like this. So you know, all you do is when you pick up your trailer, you write down your temps. Sorry, right here. You write down your temps, so you write down what your temps are. So, like, it's usually the trailer you're going to pick up, it's usually a 53-foot trailer, and like I said, it's reefer. So, usually the freezer's at set at -15, and you got 2 other, and then the refrigerator side, there's 2 refrigerators in there, or units in there that's set at 36, and you just write down their temps to make sure they're in temp. And then you go down, and then you put down your scheduled arrival time on there, on all your stops. And then and then after that, then you put down your dispatch time that you're going to be leaving, that you're supposed to be leaving the gate time. And then after that, you pretty much, you don't do anything else until you get your first store. And then, and it tells your store numbers, where you're going and stuff. And usually, you know, this one's got, you know, 3 stops. There's one on the back, and then it shows you a planogram of the trailer layout of the food and stuff. Tells you where all your store pallets are. And again, actually, another thing about this account is all you do is you go to your stores, and you open up the door, break the seal, back up to the door or the dock, and the store unloads it for you. You don't touch anything besides, there's like a strap in there, like a load strap that you take off for them, and it tells them how many pallets of food they get, of refrigerator and frozen, and then they get bananas as well. And they do all that. They unload all that for you. You don't touch any of that. You just stand there, make sure they get all their product, and then it's like really simple. It's like one of the easiest counts I've ever did. And then there's a banana log as well. It tells them how many bananas get, and they sign off on that. And then and they do all the rest of the paperwork on here. They do, they fill out they do temperature checks too to make sure the product's in temp, the freezer and refrigerated, and then they put on there, they make sure they tells them how many pallets to get, and then then they put all the, make sure they got all the food, and they put it down, and then you just sign your name, they sign their name, and then yeah, it's really easy gig. So that's the perishable log, and then you got your bills of ladings, of course, for each store that look like this, and so you pretty much sign your name at the bottom, then you're in the carrier and date it, and then when you get to the store, they sign their name, and they usually date it as well, and pretty much that's all you do on that. It's pretty simple. And then you got pretty much it's this is a form where you fill out for the trailer. So once it's shut off, once you're done with all your stops, then you shut off the reefer, and then you get the date and the time, and then you go in there in the reefer hours, and you just put down your reefer hours, so they know when you bring the trailer back how many hours it's got, so they know when the maintenance, and that's it on that part. Simple as that. Pretty simple stuff. And then the last thing you do, this is a post-trip sheet. Like I said before, when you pick up your trailer, you do a pre-trip sheet and you give it to the guard check when you leave. And then they'll give you your bills and ladings and stuff, and then you're out the door. It's really easy. And then here's your post-trip sheet. You just go over and make sure, look at if the trailer, like I said, has got any damage or anything. And you put down your scratches or dents and stuff, and then if you notate anything, there's a note box down here saying, hey, I noticed there's a tire that needs to be replaced, and you just write that in there and whatnot, and you give it to them, and you bring the trailer back, empty trailer, and then you tell them, what's wrong with it, and then they know what to put it out of the service and stuff. Really easy stuff. I can't complain. It's really amazing what this count that I'm on target, what you have to do for whatnot. It's really, really good. They got us. We're actually an international, a 2020 international right now, because we're originally in a 2021 Freightliner, and I think that's probably one of the better teaming trucks, because it's more roomier. These internationals, they're not bad for a solo guy, but the Freightliners are a lot better designed for a teaming. So right now, unfortunately, our truck's down because there was a few things that happened to it. So it's one of them things. It is what it is. But the plus side I like about it is that they've been keeping us moving either way with the truck, or our main truck being broke down. Like I said, this truck ain't near as roomy as our typical Freightliner, but hey, I still can't complain. The bad part, unfortunately, is that they don't got a fridge, and that's all right. I mean, it sucks because our other Freightliner had a fridge, and you could fill that up for the week and eat a lot better, food and whatnot, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, it's one of them things that happens, so, so yeah, that's a little bit about the account. So, they usually, one of them things, like I said, it's amazing. I haven't seen any other teaming, companies out there where they where they have teaming accounts where they pay the truck $1 a mile, and each driver gets 50 cents a mile, and the miles that we're doing, and plus the home time. It's amazing. Like I said, Hogan Transportation, if you're looking for a place to go, I would highly recommend them, especially just getting out of graduate school. So I mean, you got a few you know, you got your pros and cons where you go. I mean, like, here they got, it's called, I think a Linux camera, and, you know, the only thing I don't like about it, unfortunately, would be that, or at least the con, unfortunately, that kind of sucks. It would be, you have to, the falling distance, and the falling distance, you know, the only thing that can get a little irritating is, you know, when, they expect you to be at least, I think, 3 seconds away, or the camera will go off and you get a, you know, camera violation. You know, all it is really, they're not really big on it. They just, you know, want to make sure that we're safe out here, and, you know, we're, you know, following their expectations. So anywhere you go, you know, you have fall, you know, definitely have fall expectations. Anywhere they go, they got expectations, right? So, the thing is, with that, like I said, you can only, I think, be 3 seconds away and the camera go off and you'll get an event, and then what they'll do is go over it with you and say, hey, what could you do better to prevent yourself from being this close from somebody? You know, that is probably, you know, about the camera that kind of, you know, is a con. But, you know, it's one of them things, you know, it's just one of them things anymore that I understand. You know, there's so many cars out on the road and stuff. And they do teach you the Smith system that I didn't even know was a thing when I first came over here. And it teaches you how to, you know, be a safer driver out here. And ever since I've learned it, it's amazing what I look for when I'm driving down the road now. Like, it's like one of them things I'm like, wow, this is amazing, like how I notice more things out on the road than when I was just, before I was driving a truck. You know, they do teach you that. So I like that, actually. And they do go based off that. So, you know, it teaches you to be a safer driver. And, you know, I can't complain. It's really nice. And going back to the camera, like I said, that was probably the biggest downfall, with the camera, having a camera in the truck, would be that they're a little, not say strict on it. They just, you know, want to make sure that, you know, you're following their expectations and, you know, being safe. And I understand. Another thing, unfortunately, you know, it's coming down to a lot of companies are doing this, and it is what it is. But the trucks are governed, unfortunately, at 65. You know, hey, you know, it's not bad. I kind of wish I can go at least 70, but hey, I still am making a good paycheck. I'm still going home every week. And the account that I'm on, like I said, Target out of Cedar Falls, Iowa, is, I can't complain, like I said. I mean, it definitely does suck to go to 65 when you want to try to pass somebody that's going 65 and whatnot. But hey, you know, again, a lot of companies are going that way. So it's one of them things, you know, it's, you just get, you know, pretty much used to it. You know, I've got used to it. Like, same thing with the camera. I've got used to that ever since, I started with them. So at first I was like, oh gosh, you know, I don't want to mess up, you know, make this camera go off. And actually, I've been really fortunate. I haven't, very rare, got very many Linux events at all, because I try to stay away from everybody. So, I mean, but yeah, and they do got, it is an inward and outward facing camera, unfortunately. But, you know, I don't even worry about the thing. I just do my job and stay focused on what I'm doing. So, you know, like I said, I've been off and on with Hogan for 2.5 years. They're probably one, and this is pretty much the only company I've really drove for since I've got my CDL, besides doing the RVs, like I said. But that was pretty much an independent contractor. So, that's why I came back to him, and especially with the pay raise, I can't complain. So, but yeah, that's a little bit, you know, about, Hogan Transportation and what I do, on, you know, like a weekly basis. I probably left some stuff off. I'll probably, I'll probably go back into detail on some of that stuff, and especially if you guys have any questions or whatnot, let me know. My name's Bradley. Like I said, you know, and I'm new to this on making videos. This is actually my first video, so you know, I was wanting to just get some of the information out there and see what you guys thought, and if you guys have any other questions or want me to show you, you know, other things on what I do, and you know, to get you guys some knowledge. You know, it's like I said, this company will treat you as a driver, as in, you know, a real person. So they know the ins and outs on what you do on an everyday basis. So, you know, the dispatch up there in Iowa for Hogan at Target, they always make sure that you're taken care of. If not, they want to know what they're doing wrong, what they can improve on, and, you know, whatnot. So again, phenomenal of what they did to me, and I appreciate it, and whatnot. So yeah, that's like I said, that's a little bit about me. That's kind of what I do, and whatnot. And again, this is new to me, like I said. So, you know, I'm actually going to try to start making more videos to get you guys some more content. You know, I haven't really seen really no team driving, you know, videos, especially for Hogan. So I was wanting to get that out there so people are more interested and be like, hey, you know, yeah, I want to drive for them, you know, and I want to help you guys out because, like I said, there are not very many videos about this. So, you know, I believe, why not give you guys some help and whatnot. So yeah, that was a little bit about me, a little bit about the company I drive for, Hogan Transportation, and I'm, you know, excited to possibly be making some more videos for you guys, you know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I think in some other videos, if I make some, I will show you guys my pay stub and you know, some other things that I kind of just went over just briefly, and let you guys see what I'm doing and stuff. So hey, I appreciate you guys. Well, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I appreciate you guys if you guys are watching this video. Thank you.